Hi, this is Ray Peck. Just going to give you another one of my boxing blogs. This is going to be a very short one, actually. It's a little bit short notice, to be perfectly honest. So today's the 24th of July, and in 4 days' time, on the 28th of July, in London, we've got a fight between our very own Dillian Whyte, who I'm sure you're all familiar with, and against New Zealand's Joseph Parker, who you are definitely familiar with. You'll recall that um, his last fight was actually against our own Anthony Joshua, which he lost. But as everybody has lost so far against Anthony Joshua. So I just wanted to sort of take a little look at, first of all, just some of the stats that we've got here and compare it. And then I'm going to just sort of talk a little bit about some of their past fights, and then I'll give you my overview of how I think the fight will go. So Dillian Whyte, alias the Body Snatcher, he's age 34. He's age 30. Joseph Parker is age 26, so he's got obviously a little tiny bit of youth on his side. Both 6'4" in height, so there's nothing to choose between them there. And the reach, Dillian Whyte has a 78-inch reach, and Joseph Parker has a 76. Now, I don't think that's going to actually make any difference to the fight at all. The fact that Whyte's got a slight advantage in reach, because Whyte's style really isn't to use the jab, which is obviously where the reach is most effective. Whyte tends to be a hooker and a slugger, and almost Mike Tyson, like, comes in round and like so. So I don't think the reach is going to make a huge difference. So bouts, Whyte's had 24 bouts. Joseph Parker's had 25 bouts. Parker has fought 135 rounds, and Whyte has fought 110. So there's a few more rounds in the bag there for Parker. KO percentage, interestingly enough, again, is very, very close. So 71% for Whyte, 72% for Joseph Parker. And if we just look at the actual the stats for them, one lost and drawn. Whyte is 23-1-0, and Parker is 24-1-0. 17 KOs under Whyte's belt and 18 KOs under Parker. So when you look at this, they're all, on paper they're very evenly matched. I think the main difference the factor that you need to take into account here is that, of course, Joseph Parker has been a world champion. He was a WBO world champion. He beat Andy Ruiz Jr. to win that title, and he kept it for a little while. Whereas Dillian Whyte has never been a world champion, and he's desperately hungry, I think, to be a world champion, and I think good enough to be a world champion. I'm going to touch on the one fight, the main fight that they've got in common is Anthony Joshua. So Whyte fought Anthony Joshua way back now. It doesn't seem that long ago, but it was actually back in 2015, towards the end in December. I think it was the 12th of December 2015. He fought Whyte, and AJ got it together. I thought Whyte put up a very good fight, actually, against Anthony Joshua. I thought he came at him, he came forward, and I think he hurt AJ. The Whyte will claim now that his right shoulder went in the second round. So, he fought through the pain, but was unable to really unleash the full power that he had. And eventually, obviously, he lost to a TKO, and he failed to beat AJ, but he did put up a very, very good fight. In fact, Parker's last fight was against Anthony Joshua, and he lost that on a unanimous decision after it went the distance. He was the first fighter to take Joshua the full distance, the full 12 rounds. My criticism, if I was to have any on that fight, would be that we didn't really see Parker there, the best of Parker. He to me looked like he had come survive 12 rounds and to possibly win it on points if he could. I don't think at any point he looked like he was going to go for the knockout, to his detriment, to be honest, because I think he's a better fighter than that. But, you know, to his credit, the first fighter to take AJ the full distance. So, you know, Whyte's not in the ring here with a mug. He's in the ring here with somebody whose ring craft is very, very good. And I suppose the criticism you could put on Whyte, looking at his previous fights, is that he's not necessarily the best boxer and doesn't have the best ring craft. You know, he'll punch his way through a brick wall, he'll keep coming forward, and he'll fight you in the car park if that's what you want, you know, to finish it off. He likes a scrap and he likes to fight. But, you know, boxing's a clever game, it's a tough game, and sometimes just being a fighter, just being somebody who can punch and brawl isn't enough. You've got to be someone that has ring craft, that knows how to box, that knows how to slip punches, and knows when to fight, and knows when to back away and when to get on the bike, as it were. So, you know, that makes this an interesting combination. I was just watching something on Sky, and Whyte was saying that, you know, he has all the tools in the box to do a job on Parker, and that he can box as well as fight. So you know, the jury's out on that at the moment. We'll wait and see, and we'll see on Saturday night what happens. So so looking back over Whyte's history at the moment, Lucas Browne, you'll all remember, he fought Lucas Browne his last fight, and it was a devastating knockout in the end, to be honest. And I think Lucas Browne was, you know, had never been stopped before. So, you know, that was testament to Whyte's power. If he hits you, you're going to go. If he hits you flush, you're going to go. He also, one of the best fights, domestic fights I think I've ever seen, was when he fought Derek Chisora, and that went the distance. And really, they really went to town on each other, knocked 10 bells out of each other. And Chisora won that on a split decision. But to be honest, it could have gone either way. I remember the fight very, very clearly, and I don't think either one could have complained had it gone against them. Joseph Parker, he's fought Hughie Fury, obviously brother, relative of the comeback king, Tyson Fury, who, well, I'm sure we're going to be seeing a lot more of going forward. Hughie, to be honest, isn't the best fighter in the world, in my opinion. And again, it went the distance, and Parker got a majority decision. Although Parker's had 18 knockouts, I get the impression with his history that he's a distance fighter. He likes to go the distance. He likes to probably wear you down, to outbox you, and to convince the judges that he's done enough to win a fight. You know, and that, I'm not sure whether that will be his tactics on Saturday. It depends how smart Whyte is. I think Whyte has to be smart enough not to fall into the trap that Parker might bring, not to fall into the come and chase me, wear yourself out, and then when I'm ready, I'm gonna probably hit you in bunches and leave you alone. Come back, hit you in bunches, leave you alone. I think if Whyte can get Parker involved in a brawl, that's Whyte's best chance of stopping Parker. My prediction for this fight, as I said, I was going to keep it short, so I'm going to predict this fight the following way. I'm probably going to be way off the market because I haven't really thought about it enough, but I think that this fight will last 8 rounds, and I think the fact that Whyte will just keep coming forward no matter what Parker does. Whyte will keep coming forward and forward and forward and forward and forward, and eventually he will wear Parker down. I think he's going to wear Parker down, possibly with some hard body shots into the ribs, and I think that it will be, rather than Whyte falling into a trap, I think it will be Parker falling into a trap of at some point in the fight of trying to stand there and trade blows with him. And I just don't think he'll have the firepower to match Dillian Whyte. And so I'm predicting Dillian Whyte to stop Joseph Parker in round 8, 7 or 8. I'm saying 8. Thank you. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please give it the thumbs up. Please check out my other videos as well, and please leave any comments below. Thank you very much.